Let's keep this show moving. Our next comic, he has a brand new ebook available called Elect to Laugh. He has a one-man show running at the Marsh, and he's just brilliant. Will Durst.
How about a hand for Jim Short and the yeoman's job he's done tonight? And thank you guys all for coming tonight to kill the Purple Onion with class. But where the hell were you when I was headlining? No, I get a light. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I used to do this bit where I needed a cigarette. Haven't been able to smoke on stage for, 12 years? Seems evil. But thank you for coming, at least, for coming down to North Beach, where there is no beach. And it's on the east side of the city. That's what I love about San Francisco. Logic? We don't need your stinking logic. San Francisco, a 49 square mile circus in search of a tent. It's a political year, so I have a career this year. I'm like an Olympic athlete, once every 4 years. Because sometimes there's nothing going on and I'm screwed, but not now. And I would like to thank Mitt Romney. Yes. Who may be running the worst campaign ever. And that includes New Coke, McDLT, and France in 39. No, he's taking it bad to a whole new level. I mean, this is bad like a dumpster behind a fish market during a sanitation strike bad. This is bad like a Dark Knight Rises DVD off a cardboard table with Albanian subtitles bad. This is like Wyoming sushi bad. This is tinfoil condoms. Okay, I always go one too far. 47% of America, he insults 40, and he calls them malingerers and moochers. I mean, gee, this pissed off his base. Because they think 47%, shit, that's more than half. He goes to Great Britain and pisses off the entire country. Great Britain! Diplomatically, that's not one of the tough ones. If diplomacy were an Olympic sport, this guy tripped over the lane chalk. Then he goes to Israel and says their financial acumen gave them an advantage over Palestine, which kind of pissed off the Palestinians and made a few Israelis think he had just called them thrifty. And of course, Anne, or as he calls her, Lovey, she went with him to London, because her horse, Rafalka, was in Olympic dressage. Dressage being a French event in which the rider and the horse perform predetermined movements. It's sort of like interspecies dancing, which you would think would be illegal in Utah. But the horse didn't make the medal round, so I'm sure it was shipped home strapped to the fuselage of a 747. They call Paul Wright a bold choice. Perhaps. Then again, bold is not always synonymous with good. Whiskey for breakfast is a bold choice. Forehead dragon tattoos, very bold. Passing an 18-wheeler on a blind curve doing 80 in the rain. Incredibly bold. Not necessarily smart. This is weird. I can't even do it anymore. I can't smoke on stage. My timing is all different. And now we're... Shit. Lenny Bruce would disown me. Leonard Albert Snyder. Of course, Romney is against gay marriage. He says that marriage for 3,000 years has been between one man and one woman. Of course, that ignores that brief window 120 years ago when his great-grandfather moved to Mexico to practice polygamy. And it was one man and 5 women. I gotta admit, I don't understand the antipathy towards gay marriage. I really don't get it. I mean, how does two people's happiness make me miserable? Well, I don't think someone should marry someone of the same sex. Well, then don't. Problem solved. Let's move on. A lot of shit on the list. No, you don't understand. My religion doesn't believe that anybody. Yeah, but they don't belong to your religion. They belong to another religion, entirely altogether different. One that involves honey and mustard and lemon, and you wouldn't like it. Threads of saffron. Besides, you don't want the tables turned. You don't want another religion telling you that your wife has to walk 5 paces behind you dressed as a grieving beekeeper, now do you? Imagine losing your wife in a Riyadh mall. And of course, there's so much more to come in the election. We have the debates coming up and another debt ceiling crisis, and we almost defaulted during the last one. You know what happens if we default? We have to move back in with Britain. Yeah, you think slinking home after school is a bitch. You try waiting 236 years. Well, look who's back. Couldn't hack it on our own, could we, Mr. I'm ready for independence? I get to watch the national news every night so that you don't have to. You owe me money, man. It is so depressing. Not for the news. The news is, was, and forever shall be. The news is, same circus, just different clowns. But the ads, because apparently the only other people watching the network national news are very old or sick or dying. Invest a half hour. Every ad is for Flomax or Prevacid or Lipitor or Cialis. People with clogged pipes or leaky pipes or pipes that need extending. I'm convinced it's some sort of plumbing outreach program. And they're not 30-second ads, or at least a minute sometimes too, because they're required by law to include all the bad shit that could happen to you. And they don't want to freak you out, so they try to slide by this perky monotone. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, headache, nausea, flatulence, dizziness, dizzy flatulence, weight loss, weight gain, hives, chives, weird rashes on the inner thighs, involuntary muscle spasms, cement-like bowel obstructions, anthrax, dysentery, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, flesh-eating bacteria, explosive diarrhea, chlamydia, anal leakage, leprosy, Glock elbow, nickel dick phobia, cat scratch fever, idiopathic river slobber syndrome, Ebola, elephantiasis, brain cloud, cholera light, partial total paralysis, total partial paralysis, total paralysis, suicidal thoughts or actions, death-like coma, near death, death, and fatigue. You guys got a lot of great comedy coming up. I have a little show at the Marsh every Tuesday. Please come down up until the election. And go out and vote. It's and I know, because in the Bay Area, we don't see the ads. We're not part of the campaign because California is blue, and the Bay Area, we're post-blue. We're beyond blue. We're indigo. We're eggplant, aubergine, periwinkle, and yes, we know the difference. But you gotta go vote. You gotta exercise that electoral muscle before they take it away. Because remember, if you don't vote, you can't bitch. Better I'll pick up the slack. Thank you, Mario! Thank you, Dan Dion! Thank you, Jim Short.